Hello everyone, Dynamic Duo over here, and welcome to another review for Fear the Walking Dead. Today I shall be reviewing Episode 2, We All Fall Down. Now before I begin, I just want to say I'm sorry I haven't been doing reviews. I've been busy with school the last 2 weeks, and today is the only day I actually have time to do reviews. Like this week should be fine doing reviews. I shall be catching up on the Fear the Walking Dead reviews, so you can expect episode 3 and 4 reviews up in no time. Sometime this week, I should say. So the episode begins where we last left off in episode 1. Our heroes are trying to escape from this boat that could be Jack's boat. We're not sure. It may or may not. So we have to wait until we find out that. So the group decides to head to a nearby island to get help because there's a ranger station there. So Daniel and Ophelia decide to stay on the boat with Strand to make sure he doesn't leave them, and because Daniel still doesn't trust Strand. So while Travis, Madison, Nick, Alicia, and Chris head to shore, if there's anyone alive on the island, they see a light, they go towards it, and they meet George and his family. He has 3 kids, Seth, Willow, and Harry, and a wife. I cannot remember the wife's name. So George tells Travis all the major cities along the east coast of North America has been burned down to the ground because of the government, and inland doesn't look that good. The Rocky Mountains seems to be taken, and Atlanta is being overrun because we saw that in The Walking Dead. So right now San Diego's a no-go. And while this is going on, Nick he bonds with Harry. He shows him his action figures. They all have a red dot on them because Harry says that's how they die now. That's the only way to kill them. And Nick feels sorry for these kids, how they are going to grow up in this wood. Just like how Laurie didn't want Cora to grow up in this kind of wood in The Walking Dead. So Chris is still being a bit of emotional. Of course, his mom just died, and he's not sure what to do with his life. He has all this anger building up in him, so he just goes back to the boat. While on the boat, we see that Ophelia doesn't trust her father anymore, that he's cruel, just like this wood. Daniel's questioning Strand about the boat, and he thinks this boat is not Strand's because how he responds to a question Daniel gave him. He didn't say his boat, he says a boat, which implies that this might not be his boat. Madison and George's wife are bonding. George's wife is asking Madison all these questions about her job, if she likes kids, with hints to something towards the end. So the next day, Chris is walking along the shores and sees Seth, the oldest of George's children, who is taking out the walkers, or infected as they are called. And Chris is helping out. He's taking the rage on these infected, and Travis sees this, and he doesn't like that Chris is showing this kind of rage. He doesn't want this to be happening to his son. So later, when he runs into George, he is questioning this new word, what it's doing to his son. And George tells him it's either survive or live as long as you can before they get you. While Alicia is walking around the area, she draws a picture of the drawing her boyfriend made for her. And we can still see that she's still being affected by the death of Matt. Back on the boat, other boat has disappeared, and Strand heads offshore to do something, and Daniel's left alone. He finds maps of Mexico, which hints that their destination is Mexico, and there's also a machine gun. He takes the bullets to make sure Strand doesn't use this on him, because when you find a machine gun on a boat with a person you don't trust, you would think, do you wonder if this guy is going to use that gun on me? Of course you're going to take this bullet. You can't trust this man. and is later confirmed when he's sitting in an abandoned restaurant talking on a satellite phone to someone, saying that he would be there, which hints something's not right here. So while Nick is looking for like drugs, he finds these pills. When you take one, they kill you. These are suicide pills. It seems like this family has made a suicide pact that if things get too bad, they take those to make sure they don't get eaten. So it turns out that George's wife wants turn on that light on purpose when she saw the boat. She wants Madison to take her two youngest children, Willow and Harry, away from this place to make sure they don't die. And while Seth and George are happy living here, she doesn't want this to be her kid's life. So she wants them to take her youngest too. Well, on the Abigail, Travis and Madison are talking about this, how Travis doesn't want to take away George's kids, that they're safe right now, why Madison wants to because she feels like these kids are in danger. Then Nick tells them about the pills, and this changes everything for Travis. He needs to get these kids out of there before this entire family commits suicide. So Travis and Madison head back to George's house to get the two twins. But it turns out one of the twins have eaten their pill, Willow, and she's now dead, and turns and starts eating the wife, while George tells them to take Harry away, while George just sits there. They grab Harry and they head back to Abigail. Everyone's on Abigail. They're about to go off after Strand's like to tell Madison to leave the kid. But Madison tells them that they are not leaving this kid. And we don't know if Strand was about to agree because Seth, the oldest, appears and threatens to kill them unless they give back his younger brother. Which they do, but the zombified mother shows up somehow. Well, I guess they move pretty fast from upstairs, behind closed doors. I guess they can open closed doors now and get to a dog pretty fast. So Seth shoots the zombified mother, and Harry is waving to them as they leave. And there's this question is, if they never showed up, would this have happened? Because of Nick, Willow saw where the pills were. No, kids will eat anything they see. So we are left with the question, if they never showed up, would this have happened? Would this family have been destroyed? Because those deaths are on them because of what has happened in the last 2 days. So what did I think about this episode? Well, it's same as season 2 premiere. We have the storyline that kind of goes like, boat, danger, boat leaves. We meet a family, they die. That's basically the last 2 episodes. Nothing really grabs our attention. We don't meet any recurring characters that we grow to attach. And Strand, mysterious person on the phone, is still out there. We don't know, so that's something to look forward to. But besides this, we hardly know the characters too. We hardly know anything about Ophelia. While we have some things with Chris of how he's dealing with his mother's death, it's not interesting. We just see him being mad. No real character development, nothing. Daniel's still interesting because he's the one person that truly doesn't trust Strand. So that's interesting how this relationship between both of these characters were continued down the season. And we have Nick, who we learn is a great babysitter. So he has a job, if the world ever goes back to the way it was. And Travis is still like, I don't like violence. That's basically, he's just this person that's trying to make the best decisions for his family while not giving up his humanity. So overall, I give this episode a 5 out of 10. I'm the Dynamic Duo, and I will be seeing you when I review episode 3 of Fear the Walking Dead. Till next time.